Welcome back here on YouTube. As always, your host with the most wrestling talk show. Starting today, I had a big announcement. Orton is not going anywhere. Well, Orton is not leaving in AEW anymore. Orton is staying in the WWE for a long time. And Orton is just the greatest all times. But I think Orton is not signed with AEW yet. He's not. He's not leaving yet. He will leave until 2024. I think I had to if I think WWE Randy Orton is staying his father Bob Orton, his legacy. And Bob Orton is in the Hall of Fame. And his son, Randy Orton, is a legacy of Hall of Fame. His father, Bob Orton. And I think that Randy Orton is not going anywhere else. He will leave until 2024. After his age, Randy Orton released his contract, his WWE. He's staying. Randy Orton is staying for the. Yeah, I think Randy Orton is staying. His dad, Bob Orton, and his family. And Randy Orton has 20 kids. And Randy Orton is my favorite guy. He's my favorite wrestler. This is my moment. I like Randy Orton for all times. And Randy Orton is not going anywhere else. After Randy Orton leave until 2024, and right now I have to explain. So Randy Orton is not going in AEW. I think Randy Orton is teasing them now, but Randy Orton is staying in the WWE for a long time now. This is hometown. But Randy Orton is the best, greatest wrestler of all times. And Randy Orton is such a great wrestler, and he's a part of his athlete. Randy Orton is a great wrestler. He wrestled with Kurt Angle way back in years. About 2006. And Triple H beats up Randy Orton in 2003. And Randy Orton breaks Triple H's house in 2003. And I like Randy Orton for the greatest of all times. And he's not leaving for a long time. Randy Orton is staying his father, Bob Orton, his Hall of Fame legacy. Randy Orton is not going else. He's staying in the WWE for a long time. He's part of his family. And spend time Randy Orton raised 20 kids. And Randy Orton is a great wrestler. for a long time. I want to say this, but Randy Orton is a great wrestler for a long time, and Randy Orton still is staying with his father, Bob Orton, with his family wants him to stay to WWE. And Randy Orton is not leaving to AEW. He's not going to sign with AEW for a long time. And Cody Rhodes has been friends with Randy Orton for the longest years. And Cody Rhodes is AEW Vice President, Cody Rhodes. And he's best friend with Randy Orton and Ted DiBiase for the longest years. And Randy Orton is not going anywhere else to AEW. But AEW has announcement right now. And AEW had a bad ratings, lowest ratings for AEW. They week 20, probably about week 20. AEW has a lowest ratings, and AEW is totally bad. AEW estimate is lost, and I like Cody Rhodes. He's the best wrestler, like top class, like for a long time. If Cody Rhodes quit in the WWE about last year in 2012, he quit. AEW had the biggest problems. But I'm not singing this right now. But NXT is a better ratings, better AEW. AEW and NXT are head to head. NXT and AEW, WCW, like fight a war. This is not WCW from 1992. AEW is totally bad, but Jon Moxley is my favorite moment. Jon Moxley has been wrestling in years now in WWE. Jon Moxley wrestled for a long time to wrestle WWE. And I think Jon Moxley, saying his name to Dean Ambrose, he might still be back to WWE. If Jon Moxley saying his name to Dean Ambrose, and former Dean Ambrose, or Jon Moxley, whatever, I hate that name, Jon Moxley. And I think Jon Moxley hates the fans, from AEW fans. Who cares about that right now, okay? This is not the same thing. This promo of why you say Chris Jericho against Tuesday in the NCPW, and Chris Jericho is not an AEW World Champion. X. Chris Jericho is a former at the WWE Championship. I'm not saying this, but why do you say Chris Jericho is not your AEW World Championship? And Chris Jericho is a former in the WWE X World Championship for WWE. I had to say this, but something was comes up with something else last week, and Chris Jericho gonna face in the NCPW wrestling. Who knows about that? I was saying this. NXT is the best match, and NXT is great to face. I mean, NXT against AEW, and I don't care about splitting up the names, biggest names of AEW, and Dustin Rhodes, and then his dad's name, his father, in the Hall of Fame, Dusty Rhodes, making dream. He owns the beats outside the beats, Dusty Rhodes. And Dusty Rhodes working with WWE for a long time. And Dusty Rhodes making a dream. I had a big announcement. Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic returns in the 2020 next year. Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic in the 2020 next year. In the 2020. I can't wait for Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic of NXT. I think NXT is better than AEW, but NXT is a great match, and NXT had a great moveset. I don't like AEW moveset, and AEW is terrible, and AEW sucks. There's a part of announcement for AEW. AEW had to make better impact for better wrestling, this company. And AEW had a big investment problems. But I was saying this, I had to make a statement. But I first started watching I first started watching WWE for a long time. I've been watching that. I first started watching WWE last year in 2013. I first started watching that. I'm subscriber to WWE Network. So I'm a big fan of wrestling now. But I like Randy Orton. He's a great wrestler, and I like Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton and Ted DiBiase. They were great. I'm not saying this. I think some Young Bucks is bringing up. And yeah, some Young Bucks is bringing up. Matt Saxon might leave. I think some Young Bucks quit for the Twitter now. And Matt Saxon and Nick Saxon saying Nick Saxon is wanting to say to Matt Saxon, and Nick Saxon had to say Nick Saxon went back to NXT, back his brothers. This is not WCW. This is not Monday Night Raw. This is not AEW. And WWE. WWE is great, better Impact Wrestling for a long time. And I heard a name coming up last week. And I've been watching Impact Wrestling and ROH Wrestling and WWE. And I've been watching Sweet Wrestling I'm watching. And I've been watching WWE Impact Wrestling and always Honor of Ring of Wrestling. I watched the 3 shows of wrestling. And Sin Cara is working with, I think Sin Cara is working with different company. And Sin Cara is still working with WWE. I think Sin Cara will be busy booking his match. And Sin Cara is still working with WWE. And I love wrestling. I'm just a big fan of wrestling still. And AEW had a big announcement. And AEW had a bad lowest ratings. I'm not saying this, but I want you guys to have to just comment down below my suggestion below. I want you guys to think this dog. AEW had a big announcement. And AEW had the lowest ratings. That's totally sad. It's bad wrestling. Announcement of AEW. All Elite Wrestling. Who cares about AEW right now? Stop watching AEW. I'm not watching AEW because I'm not interested in that. For me, I'm watching an NXT on USA Network. This is great for NXT moving to USA Network. And NXT had the best ratings. And NXT won 2 weeks in a row. And in week 20. And NXT had the biggest ratings. Better than AEW. And NXT is a great wrestling. This is a great wrestling show. I was had to explain to all of you. I was saying this. Randy Orton's not leaving yet because Randy Orton is staying his family in the WWE for a long time. And Randy Orton is staying his legacy in the Hall of Fame. His dad, Bob Orton, Mick Flair, and they got 5 wrestlers in the Hall of Fame. And they got Ric Flair, Bret Hart Hart, Bob Orton, Paul Ellering. Yeah, Paul Ellering is in the Hall of Fame with Ric Flair for a long time. And Paul Ellering is a Hall of Fame also. And Paul Ellering is working with Authors of Pain with NXT past last year. Past 4 years. Paul Ellering working with Authors of Pain for an NXT Tag Team Classic with last week was Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, Authors of Pain, and Black and Gold brand. It's a better place to go to watch. And NXT is the best ratings and the best show. This is a beef show. Because this is part of this moment just passed. This is about making history. Better Impact for the best wrestling. Pro wrestling is the best company to make. I was saying this is about pro wrestling, part of the statement for the big announcement for AEW. And AEW do nothing. And AEW is a bad match. And MCF, MCF is totally bad guy. And MCF, I want him back to WWE. AEW is finished, people. AEW is finished. I'm just saying this right now. I'm not saying this wrong. I'm saying this right. Wrestling is a better show. NXT is a better ratings. And head to head against AEW, against NXT. Who cares about winning and losing? AEW lost for a long time now. NXT won in the 12 weeks. Finally, NXT won. And I don't care about AEW anymore. AEW had a big announcement. I'm not saying this, I must have to part for the announcement for AEW Wrestling. This is not a show. And you guys watching on the TNT. TNT is early on in AEW. And AEW, All Elite Wrestling, TNT, early on. And off, TNT. TNT is done. TNT for All Elite Wrestling and the AEW is totally over. NXT won in 12 weeks now. I'm just saying this, and I have to explain to all of you that this is a part for the announcement for AEW Elite Wrestling. Not a pro wrestling, it's about impact. It's about making history. It's about a moment. This moment, we had the best great match. This is part of the statement deal. I'm just saying this to all of everybody. I want to explain. And I was saying that AEW had a bad announcement. WWE NXT won. NXT won for longest ratings. Going up. And the AEW is going down. Lowest ratings. NXT is up. AEW down. And NXT won. And they are beating AEW. And NXT destroyed AEW. They are going to kill AEW. All the superstars and AEW will shut out of business. All Elite Wrestling. All Elite Wrestling can be out of business. Not WWE. WWE is a better place to watch. It's a better impact. I'm not saying this, I have to explain to all of you. I have to saying this, but I have to prove this point. You know what I mean? This is better wrestling. So that's it. Okay, that's it for me today. This is, comment down below, on select below, your thoughts. And I don't know what's going on about wrestling now. I don't know what's going on. I had to phone up just updates on my phone every week of pro wrestling. And AEW is done. I'm not saying that right now. NXT won, so I'm not saying this. This is my point. This is my moment. I had to say. I had to stick up with that. So, that's it from today. comment down below on the lesson below my thoughts, your think, your comment, your start. NXT is a better show. It's a big show. NXT TakeOver. Not AEW show. AEW show is over. I'm not interested of AEW now. I've been watching 3 wrestlings. Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor of Wrestling, and the WWE. Those are my 3 shows I'm watching. So that's it from today. This is Brian Campbell. This is WWE and Brian Campbell Talk Show. Comment down below on this lesson and give me some thoughts to just comment. So that's it from today. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.